to be consistency, I think, for them, because I think Sprout definitely may be the faster players. I don't know if they're the more consistent ones.
And I talked before our previous match about how these matches that maybe decide whether or not you make playoffs, whether or not you make top 2 against teams who you expect to be close to you in the standings are the most important ones. Please, someone have prepared gyroscope and pull it out right now. It's not banned.
No ban.
Okay,
no ban. No ban.
Hold on. Not banned. And it was Flip of Faith banned away by the blue team. That is Sprout. Slippy Slide's the first pick. That is Numelops with the first pick. Back and forth picked by Sprout then. This could get a little bit spicy. Slowdown will get picked. We expect to see Slowdown in your first 4 maps. That makes plenty of sense. Back to a blue team. Freestyle to pick. This is a very familiar first 4 maps so far. What do we see as our final picks out of our teams? Back we go to orKs and Numelops for map number 5. We'll go to reps and a final pick. Map 6 is going to be agility dash and parkour. We'll go to map 7. A gyroscope will fall all the way to the bottom, and it is lost another 50-50 for map 7.
Yeah, you know what? It's fine. We're never going to see it. It's okay. We've just got to, you know, live our lives as is. Gyroscope isn't feeling so good, Mr. Stark, and that's just... Oh, well,
that's life, I guess. Sometimes you just don't ever get to see Gyroscope in many weeks of play, and I guess that's just our cross to bear here on the stream at the moment. But we are going to see this. We are getting a lot of practice talking about these first 4 maps. It's going to be Slippy Slide, Slowdown, Freestyle, and I believe it was Parkour in that first... No, Slowdown, Slippy Slides.
Slippy Slides was
the
first.
Other ones.
Freestyle.
Memory test.
Yeah, good. And then back and forth, yeah. We good? It's fine.
Yeah, back and forth was the one.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
okay, we got
that's
there
the one that I
eventually.
was
All
missing.
good.
Yeah. I forget about back and forth. Of course I did. That is going to be our classic first 4 at the moment. Does seem to be a little bit of a handshake from all of these teams as to what our first 4 maps are. We have seen in slightly different orders those first 4, all 3 matches so far tonight.
Yeah, I think the other maps... you know, maybe teams are very good at them, but I think no team is consistent at all the other maps. I think obviously we saw reps, a lot of teams making mistakes on the identity. It's a very, very difficult identity to get consistent. And all of the other maps in that sense is, you know, that's generally the consensus from players right now, is that it's just, you know, no matter how good your times are on those maps, it's very difficult in this kind of setting where you really need to be getting it every single time.
Consistency is king in Trackmania Challenger League, and well, sticking with comfort, even if it might be comfort for your opponents as well, seems to be the name of the game for all of these players. It's not worth it to potentially shake your own mental in a bid to shake your opponents.
Probably not. That's yeah. Look, hey, playing it safe, I might not be a fan of it, but at the same time, it's understandable. So I'm not going to harp on the fact that I think everybody is boring, as everybody stays within a tenth of each other to start off the map. No early mistakes. Good to see.
Dexter.
Wait, Panda is just
pretty quick.
Went
also,
from
Panda.
110. Okay. Oh no,
he's okay.
It's all good.
We needed. I think we could have worded like a mistake is a full crash, and error maybe is just a little bit of a touch that costs you a tenth or two. Yeah. Either way, Panda has dropped behind by more than a couple of tenths at the moment, so it's turning into a full-on mistake at the moment somewhere along the line, or maybe just a lack of pace, as these front 3 are starting to pull away a little bit. Scrappy and Dexter versus Complex. That's a battle I kind of expect to see repeated a few times today.
Yeah, Scrappy and Dexter definitely have the pace to back up their performances so far. All they need to do is stay ahead of Complex. Complex making it difficult for them at the very least. Let's see nobody go into the pit. Thank you very much. All good. These aren't the teams that fell into the pit anyway, so I wasn't expecting it, but you never know what happens. Scrappy goes very far outside. He's going to go very far outside. Once again, Complex gets in ahead of him. Dexter stays in first consistently on that one. Complex with a good final turn. Stops Scrappy from getting the ace. It's a good win for Sprout, but yeah, obviously this is what we expect. The speed from Sprout is absolutely brilliant, and there we go. Dexter with a very good time to start things off.
Exactly, very, very good indeed. Dexter has not gotten worse between week 2 and 3. That is a stated intention by Dexter to come and play some more Trackmania, and to do it very well indeed. 111.7 is absolutely nothing to sniff at. Scrappy wasn't that far behind, but was behind in that first round. It is a round win for Sprout. and a good start to their day. That's a lot more airtime than you want to catch on the dirt, though.
Yeah, Scrappy and Dexter fall into third and fourth. It's not a mistake. It's just, as we said, you know, like a mistake is like when you crash and you fall back like a second or two. That's just an error. There's nothing too wrong with it, obviously. When we get into the identities, you know, 3/10 doesn't really mean a lot. So as long as they stay close, all should be okay. Just means that Numelops have the advantage, however slight that may be. Panda goes a little too inside, may have clipped his wheel there, I don't think so, but either way, the line was not good. He falls down into fourth place, and in the meantime, Dexter and Scrappy are catching up to Complex here. Can Complex keep it clean? He did last round. Can he do it once again to hold at bay the Sprout players? Scrappy with a very good line on that turn, may go inside now of Complex, gets out ahead of him by 25 thousandths. Dexter comes home third, giving Sprout once again a 1-3 victory. They are cooking, and so far it's smelling very good.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only team that has some kind of plant in their name. Obviously, they know how to cook with some herbs and spices, really make it nice and clean, nice and tasty. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. What I do want to say is that Sprout caught up on pure pace as well. Even with a couple of errors early on, they were right back on the tails of Numelops by the time that identity rolled around, and that gave Scrappy the chance to make the snipe happen at the end. I'm impressed with Sprout, and it is once again here on Slippy Slides, that kind of mid-map uphill turn. It's a little bit of a touch, an error in the background from Scrappy. The mid-map first bug slide through is where you can gain and lose a few tenths, and that really can be a difference maker that puts the pressure on one of these teams coming into an identity.
I'm not going to harp on it, but I am very disappointed. I forgot that you had the same thing as Americans with herbs. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh man. You know what? I'm going to let it slide for now. Just like Panda let it slide on that turn. Scrappy and Dexter out ahead, and so far it's looking clean. They are 4 seconds ahead of both Numelops players, and all they need to do is bring it to the end. And it looks like so far they've been very clean through the last few turns. It's all good for them. It's an ace for Sprout, bringing them to 7 points. Panda and Complex bring up the rear, and so far not looking good on this first map.
Safe from Sprout once again. As you said, they were 4 seconds clear. Those times will not set the world alight, but it is a low 112. It's not a bad time by any means, and consistency is carrying Sprout here on this first map on their opponent's choice. NuaLaoch trying to take it to Slippy Slides, and I think one of the things we didn't really talk about is that last week this is the only map that Sprout dropped to Easy Dream. Yep. NuaLaoch might have tried to come out of the gates making Sprout uncomfortable. If they were, it very much has not worked so far, Twiggy.
Yeah, and so far the thing is that the weakness we've seen from Sprout, it's not their speed, it's their consistency. They have been very consistent so far. Obviously, we've only had a few rounds. There's still a lot of time to make errors when you are driving, but at the meantime, Sprout doing incredibly well. They have fixed a lot of the gaps that they had so far. Complex and Panda, however, stay out ahead on this round. They're looking to bring back that ace against the Sprout side. All they need to do, keep it clean once again to the end. It's been a tough task for them so far, but it's all good up until the identity, it looks like.
Up until the identity, Panda and Complex have this lead, but can they hold on to it? Both of them cleanly through this first slide, both of them neck and neck into the second slide, and both will make it around, but Complex will not. He looked very far outside, and too far outside. Ultimately, the mistake made costs the ace, turns it into a draw instead, and he will show us exactly what happened the first time in a near-action replay.
Unfortunate. NuaLaoch, I'm not going to say throw away their chance of an ace there, but that was not fortunate whatsoever. He knew he was going a little too inside. He cut it off right there, but that is so far into the identity that when you respawn, you are almost guaranteeing yourself a 4th place unless somebody else has made a massive mistake earlier on in the map. And Sprout bring themselves another point closer to track point. Well, another point closer to 10. They're already on track point. All they need to do now is get 1 round win.
Single round win. This round starting off a little bit better than the last one did. It is those 2 cars in blue and a rather fetching shade of green as well, who are currently out in the lead. Panda has climbed back into it, and Scrappy with a touch will allow Complex back into this race. Panda versus Dexter, Complex holding off Scrappy at the back. It's going to come down to this identity, Twiggy.
Yeah, Dexter again, like we saw in the first round, well out ahead with brilliant splits so far. Just needs to get it as cleanly as possible through to the end. Stays ahead of Panda for the time being. Complex with a nice inside line, may have more speed into the next section. Doesn't manage to overtake Dexter, but manages to catch up at the very least, and now does overtake as we head past the pit of doom. Dexter goes very inside, maybe a very good line, but Complex gets out ahead, and that is the mistake from Dexter. He took a risky line, he falls back, and it looks like Numelops are going to be taking an ace. Panda gets through cleanly, he slides out, he's gone. He may just be able to get to the end, but he does not get second, and Scrappy denies the team the ace. It's not a round win, but hey, they go one. They get one
wedged in there.
Yeah, Dexter, all good. It doesn't matter, your teammate's done the hard work. And now 9 points for Sprout. All they need is a draw.
I thought Scrappy was further back, honestly. Looking at this, I wasn't paying enough attention to the splits, obviously. That did cost the ace for NuaLaoch again, and they've been closer than the scoreline suggests in this one. There have been 2 rounds now that could have been aces for them, where instead one turned into a draw, the second one turned into a win instead, but they've been bleeding points that they couldn't afford to bleed at critical rounds so far in this map. And this is their map pick as well, the map that maybe they were hoping to catch Sprout out on the most, based on past results for both of these teams, based on how these teams have done on these maps in the past. It's not worked for NumeLaoch so far, and Sprout, I struggle to see one of them not making it into the top 2 this time around.
Yep, Numelops now need an ace and then a round win at minimum to catch back up to Sprout. It's going to be very, very difficult to get that done, but so far staying out ahead. But we know that towards the end of the map it looks like Dexter and Scrappy have a little more speed, a little better lines as we come through, and you can see them catch straight back up as we head past that first slide. Panda and Complex stay in first and second. But for how long? Scrappy right on their tails. Dexter goes for a little bit of a riskier line, has a little more speed, goes inside on the first turn. Didn't work out for him last time. Scrappy catches up to Panda, and Dexter catches up to Complex. Panda stays out ahead. Complex may have a better line on the end there, but it's 2 inside. He flips over, he goes back, and Sprout win the map.
I respect the effort from Complex. He risked it all for the biscuit. It was nothing better, nothing less than an ace mattered there for NumeLaoch. So you know what? Complex made the right decision as far as I'm concerned. History will show that Sprout win this map because they did. They get to those 10 points first, Twiggy. But that was closer. NumeLaoch came so close to 3 aces in that. There was 3 rounds where I think conceivably they could have come away with an ace. And with a final score of 10-6, that's a close map as we head to back and forth.
Back and forth, another map where we've seen Sprout play very strongly. We'll remember, I mean, we've already today had another one of these, but Dexter and Scrappy finishing at exactly the same time, holding hands as true as possible to the very end. Coming first and second with an ace well, with absolutely no gap between them. And, well, I mean, this could be a bit of a death toll here, unless something changes, unless there is something very good from NumeLaoch here, or Scrappy or Dexter have a bad round.
Will we see our 3rd completely tied time on back and forth?
If Scrappy and Dexter do it again, that would be amazing.
It'd be pretty impressive. It seems unlikely. It seems very, very unlikely.
I mean, statistically, I'm pretty sure it is almost impossible to do.
And
somehow
yet
we've had it twice.
We've done it twice.
Yeah, exactly. But, well, I mean, we'll see. Hey, Panda, well up ahead to start things. Scrappy and Dexter in the middle of the pack. They need to catch up now.
Just really nice goal. Yeah. Disco mode activated as Sprout are sitting in second and third at the moment. Panda and Complex are looking to snatch away their opponent's map this time around, having already lost their own. An entrance to the identity like that from Panda, it's not going to help them that much. Dexter and Scrappy. Scrappy is slow, though. Scrappy could be caught by Complex here around the last couple of turns. Scrappy's lack of speed does make the difference.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That was not how it looked like it was going to end, even in the final corner.
I don't know how Sprout managed to get 2 points out of that round, but they did. And,
they did.
A late start did not help the case of NumeLaoch. Complex was behind that whole round, didn't manage to catch up whatsoever. So now, it's an uphill battle once again for NumeLaoch, but they're used to this one, I feel like. And, they're no stranger to a little bit of competition. They're currently on top of the leaderboard because of that overall Sprout. I mean, you can see they're completely different to the time that they lost that first series 4-1 to alternate attacks. All they need to do keep it clean. So far, Panda really trying to push for that first place, but Scrappy keeping him at bay for the time being.
This is an identity where places can change, but it tends to be a little bit more gradually. You tend to be able to see it coming, and I think maybe you can see it coming right now. No, Complex look to be gaining, look to have the speed to overtake Scrappy, but Scrappy is held on and stays all the way out in front. Needs to not make an error on the end, needs to stay in front of Panda, just about holds him off. Complex will cross the line just behind as well and draw on the round. Sprout stay one in front.
Yeah, they're not going to be unhappy with that whatsoever. Dexter, again, not perfect through to the end, but all that matters is that Scrappy able to get first. So, no harm, no foul. Sprout. Oh, where? What happened to Complex?
Gone. In the ether. I spent him. He's completely vanished. And
With
now it is up to
extra
Panda. That's true. Complex not that far behind. Actually only about 8/10 down from the field. And that is well within range to make a difference on this round if there is an error from one of the Sprout players. So keep your eyes on Complex. But definitely keep your eyes on this battle up front at the moment. 3 cars neck and neck through the middle of this map. And is it Sprout who will come away with a little bit more of a lead? Will Numelops be able to tie this one up a little bit more? Sprout so far holding on. They have been pretty clean through this identity. They have managed to hold it on, and they are about as on top of each other as you can get at the moment.
Oh man, Panda trying to put the weight of the world on his shoulders at this point, but it's going to be very difficult to catch up with Dexter and Scrappy, who may be on track for another perfect nil. Oh, too
close.
Close, yeah, close. But it's an ace for Sprout, more importantly.
That's, I don't know. Team chemistry, it's paying off right now for Sprout. They did not leave each other behind for that entire round. They were completely in sync on that one, and that's what we love to see. It also, I think it's great when you can see the lines paying off. I mean, when you see 2 cars that close together, they've clearly been putting into practice. They've been trading some tips. They both want to take the same lines through, and when they execute, you can see how well it pays off for the team. It's not paid off so well here for Dexter, it does have to be said, or Scrappy, and so ultimately it's gone quite poorly for them on this round.
So what have you done now? Let's talk about
No. I would
what
not.
happened?
Well, I'm sorry.
All good, all good. You know what? We'll forgive you this time around. At least it adds to the drama. Panda and Complex out ahead now, first and second. Dexter with a good line in towards the identity, but it's not going to catch him up enough to get ahead of Panda and Complex as they move forward. He does have a little more speed though. Can he keep the lines clean and get through onto this one? Oh god, Complex has left. He has left the arena. Panda stays out ahead. He gets that first, but Dexter forces at least
Scrappy's a long
1
way
point
behind
for his team.
It's going to be hard for Scrappy to catch up in this round, given that all 3 cars have already crossed the finish line in front of him, and given that there's another mistake come through as well. It will pull a Complex.
It didn't matter, but yeah, you know.
It didn't matter, and it was 16 seconds afterwards. The real upshot of that round is that Sprout moved to 7 points, are now on track point, and hey, we should talk about it, right? Sprout took away their opponent's map there in map 1. And while there has been a mistake to start off this round again from the Sprout players, they're in position to move 2-0 up. And while it has not been strong for them in the back half of back and forth here, they're still looking very strong overall on the match tonight.
Yeah, well, I think at the end there, maybe Scrappy watching the new season of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, but oh well, all you got to do is stay ahead. Maybe got a little complacent with the lead that he had. And Complex and Panda stay out ahead, looking to make it an ace to bring things back level so far. I mean, it's looking good for them. Can Scrappy catch up in time? Can Dexter catch up in time? Once again, they are holding hands. Panda is falling back a little bit. Can Scrappy get back ahead? Complex looks pretty secure as he moves forward. Not making a mistake. They all get through it kind of safely.
Ace.
Looks like it's going to be an ace. It is an ace for Numelops. It brings it back level.
Okay. This is exciting. Both teams have hit 7. That was not an unexpected ace for Numelops with how the start of that round played out, but overall in the context of the match, yeah, unexpected. Numelops have managed to pull this one back level. Sprout now need to be careful. They are at risk of throwing away their first map selection here. They are at risk of letting Numelops get back into a match that Sprout really should have seized by the scruff of the neck after taking Slippy slides so comfortably away from their opponents. That is quick from Panda and Complex, and all of a sudden they are definitely on pace to turn this into a win for themselves.
Well, yeah, it's looking good for them. Oh, and if Complex can catch back up on the back of that turn. May look good for them, but Dexter has brought back out that speed. Is catching Panda slowly but surely. All they need to do is just keep this one going. It doesn't matter as long as you don't
Dexter's
let an ace happen. What happened there?
Dexter
has
gone.
Disappeared into thin air. Panda and Complex
on a corner.
stay out ahead. This may be the end of the map. Panda and Complex keep first and second. Scrappy with an inside line has more speed. Can he get ahead? He cannot get ahead. Numelops finish off the map by a matter of 9 thousandths. 11, actually, not 9. But hey, still,
basically
the drama.
The same thing.
It doesn't matter what I said.
What is 2 thousandths between friends, Twiggy? 11 thousandths. It's enough to secure the map for Numelops. They do it on back-to-back aces. 4 points to 10 speed run. You cannot do it quicker there. Numelops tied the match back up, and I'm a little bit disappointed in Sprout. They won their opponent's map to kick things off, to then bleed away your own when you were in a commanding position, when your opponents had to ace back-to-back to take the map away from you, and you make the errors that ultimately allow them to do it. Scrappy was a valiant effort to save it at the end there, really pushed it to try and catch Complex, but Numelops win. They managed to do it. That's a turnaround. I'm looking for words to describe what's going on, because this all of a sudden blew this match wide open.
Yeah, that's an incredibly important map on a...
Someone has already made Cat already sitting comfortably.
No
Cat
way.
sitting very comfortable.
You're kidding.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Guys, what? It's been one series. What? What? It took you one series to do that?
It's too quick.
You guys are... No, please, guys, focus on the esports or something. What that is... Okay, whatever. You know what? Jesus Christ. I can't do this anymore.
This match has started. The map is happening. This is a very important match 3 as Sprout tried to take their own map. Again, we're looking for one of these teams to win their own map for the first time this series. Both of them having let their first pick slip away from them. But second pick, that's where we look, Twiggy. That's where we want comfort from these teams when you know the match might be tied. And we're looking for comfort from Sprout right now. Sprout right now in this identity. They are managing to get at least one overtake done. Complex was holding them off right up until he wasn't an ace to kick things off on slowdown for Sprout.
That is... Oh, into the tree? No, just... Oh, that's hot. No, because he's actually trying to get to the checkpoint. That's what's the saddest thing about it there. Complex actually tried to get to the checkpoint while still not able to climb that hill. It's an ace from Sprout to start things out. They are not happy with the way last map turned out, I'm sure. And that is exactly what they answer back with.
Here they go. That was clean overall from Sprout as well. I mean, hey, their opponents made the mistakes, but you need to be there to capitalize. That's a mistake to be capitalized on from Panda, as he will drop a long way behind the rest of the field. 8 tenths, it's a long way at this level of play. Complex is still holding off Dexter and Scrappy though, but it was a mistake in the identity last time around from Complex. Slowdown is an identity we expect all of these players to be incredibly practiced on. It's been a favorite map to kick things off in every match so far. Complex surely can do it this time around.
Complex just needs to get through to the end, keep it simple, ironically. And Dexter and Scrappy trying to catch up now. Dexter with a lot of speed moving forward, gets himself within 3 tenths now. All he needs to do is get it good through the identity here, but Complex, he's keeping it clean as well. Dexter catching just by a little, has a little more speed at the end. Complex stays ahead, takes first place, forces a draw. Panda not able to get there in time, but Sprout stay ahead by 3 points.
I'm not convinced keeping it simple would do much, because I think his skills generally lie in CSGO rather than Trackmania.
Oh my god, really? What? Bro, what?
Anyway, that's a draw. You said
my.
keep it simple. What am I going to do? Leave that one standing? Sprout are still 3 points ahead, Twiggy. Focus on the match, Twiggy.
I don't know how. I don't know how anymore. Okay, well... Well, the thing is, I think the big story now is Panda needs to stop making mistakes early on, needs to stay with the rest of these drivers right up until the end, because that is what is going wrong right now for Numelops on this map. It's what has caused Sprout to stay 3 points ahead, and I'm just trying to ignore the mental damage that I have taken from the words that you said earlier on, but right now, Complex staying out ahead once again, the hero for orKs right now, and so far, Panda stays with it.
Keeping it complex has been working. He has been quick so far, and if Panda can put up a good performance this round as well, that could catapult NuaLaoch right back into this map. It is Dexter who is holding them off, though. Dexter quick through those last hits, but not quick enough. Sniped at the line. What a finish that one was. It looked to me like Dexter had done enough, but credit to NuaLaoch. That last hill was all they needed.
Everybody on here did not listen on their driver etiquette course. You're supposed to keep at least two car lengths, okay? Two, not that's too close.
Elbows were out on that round.
My lord. Okay, Scrappy this time starts out ahead. Complex as usual, staying very close to first place.
It is Scrappy, the edge clips him, and then the wall catches him. Not what you want to see in the middle of the round. Complex and Panda out to a large lead, and Slowdown is a map where you can safe that end. You should be able to make sure from this position that this is another race. This should be NuaLaoch moving to match point. I don't want to curse this one, but these players, they should be immune to this curse right now, because genuinely this feels like an unlosable position.
There are not many situations in which you make a mistake here at the end unless pressure is being put on you, and they do keep it clean. Through to the very end, Complex and Panda cruise through to an ace to fire straight back at Sprout and bring it now, once again, 3 points ahead, this time in the favor of all.
You say bring it back level, all right. SRK, I believe, has added an emote for our disco moment here as well, just to make sure the chat can flame the broadcast a little bit more. Thank you for that, SRK. That's 2 aces in a row for NuaLaoch right now. They are looking good. They won with 2 aces in a row on the last map, and all of a sudden, they are 2 aces in a row, and they are 1 ace away from winning the map outright again. And Sprout, when it goes wrong, Twiggy, the problem is it seems to go very wrong for both players at once.
Yeah, it does. And we did say earlier on that the problem for Sprout may be consistency. NuaLaoch are a very consistent team at this point, and that is what they are showing right through to the end. Maybe Panda has made a couple of mistakes this map so far, and it may happen once again this time around, but so far they have been more consistent than Sprout all the way through. Maybe they have not got the same PBs as the other team, but they have definitely brought the fight to them. But Sprout looking to bring the fight right back, looking to give themselves another ace and bring it level once again. Complex stays right within tail distance of these two, but Dexter and Scrappy keep it clean, and they force Complex to make a mistake. They cruise home once again. It's an ace, this time in the favor of Sprout. This time it is 7-7, both teams on track point.
That's fast. 56-8 is fast on Slowdown. The pace is there for Sprout. And when they clean it up, there is not a huge amount NuaLaoch can do to keep up. Complex under pressure as well has flown out at that second from last hill twice in this match so far. It's been aces backwards and forwards. 1 more ace would seal it for either team. I would not want to have to bet on either right now. No,
not whatsoever. It is looking very... Here we go. Okay, like, you better be ready to pick up on this one. It's looking very back and forth. No,
well, I don't understand the joke.
Okay, right, cool. You're just gonna... okay, you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All good.
All we've done there is slow down the cast on what is a very important final round between these two teams. Could be a final round, but as long as someone can hold on to a second place while the other team is in first, you will look okay. Panda is in front of Scrappy, but Scrappy gets inside without a touch from Scrappy. It looks like maybe he got a slight slowdown, but he still seems to be keeping up right now. Panda and Complex looking to ace way here at the moment. That's a touch from Dexter, and it's Complex and Panda. They're pulling away from Scrappy. 1 more ace to close it out. NuaLaoch will do it with 3 aces in 4 rounds.
NuaLaoch I mean, we didn't expect this whatsoever. We thought, you know, it's going to be close, but we think Sprout definitely have the speed to bring out enough aces to be able to bring this one away. But as we know, nothing is ever secure. Nothing is ever as we think it's going to be in Trackmania Esports, and Sprout managed to lose out another map there. NuaLaoch are out ahead once again. If they win this series, they are well ahead of the pack in terms of the whole league so far. They will be on 3-0 if they can finish this one out. 2 maps to go for them. And we move once again to freestyle.
That has to be the highest number of aces that we've seen on a single map so far in the Challenger League. That was 4 aces in 4 rounds to finish it off.
Yeah, that that's one way to do it, for sure.
I'd be fine with seeing it again here on Freestyle, and we are on to Freestyle live with our first round. Still waiting for a team to win their own map pick on it. Sprout, they'd feel pretty bad about giving Numelops this one here if the pattern breaks. But again, any of these maps can lead to anything. In week 3 of the Challenger League, these teams should be practiced. And Numelops, they haven't practiced enough to learn that there is a wall on that turn.
Panda takes a sharp right turn off the back of that complex. Narrowly misses the reset block. Stays within throwing distance here of Scrappy and Dexter, and I don't mean that in the bad way, I mean that in the good way. Can he not throw in the bad way? We'll see. Scrappy and Dexter staying out ahead for now. Complex staying very, very close here, but he's going to need to do something good to get it ahead of Dexter or Scrappy and try to at least limit the amount of points that Sprout get in the first round of this one. But we always know, oh god, no matter how many aces you get, it seems like the other team can bring it back. Scrapper, that's both of them put together. Scrappy and Dexter stay ahead once again, clean through the first jump. Dexter well out ahead, gets it clean once again. Scrappy gets it clean. It's all good. It's an ace for Sprout to start things off. Scrapper. I ship them, honestly, I ship them.
Bro, this isn't an anime. You can't just start shipping characters
yes,
whenever you want.
You can't ship real people, Twiggy.
Also true, it's an ace for Sprout to start things off, and I did, of course, tell a lie. That last map pick was Numelops as well, and they did manage to pull out the win on that. So, thank you for calling me out on that one, Twiggy. You didn't, but I'm calling you out indirectly by saying that. Cool, and Sprout are off to a good start here on their map pick. Here on Freestyle, they have the ace, they have the times. It was 107 high at the end of that last round. Look, we know that Sprout have the pace. It really does just come down to not seeing mistakes out of them in these rounds, because especially Panda, I think, will struggle to keep up with them if Sprout really clean it up.
Yeah, it does look that way, and I mean, you saw that last round. They were clean all throughout. They managed to make it through to the end without making a mistake. Dexter and Scrappy right behind Panda as they move forward. Can Panda keep it clean? Can Panda get a risky line to pull out ahead of these two players? Complex, his wheel catches. He drops further back into 4th place, and Panda is a little slower through the first jump. Can Sprout stay ahead on this one? Dexter goes a little further outside. Panda steals away 2nd place. Sprout, I mean, the lead is limited to 1 point in this round, but they do pull up to 5 points in the map.
Panda, pretty good. Holding on. Right as I was saying, you know, I think Panda in general won't quite have the pace to keep up if Sprout can really start to set some very fast times. Does hang up there with the big boys for that round at the very least. But it is still a 5-point lead, or a 4-point lead, 5 points in total for Sprout at the moment. And this is something we saw a lot more of in the regionals rather than in Challenger League, Twiggy, is this exact scoreline. The team that was feeling on top on a map, getting an ace, getting a win, moving to 5-1, and from there it is immediately a very, very hard comeback.
Yeah, now it's going to have to be, well, at some point an ace pretty much from Numelops to bring things back. I think, well, they could win every single round 2-1 and just about pull out ahead by the end, but that is also a very difficult thing to do, and right now it doesn't look like Sprout is going to be letting them do that whatsoever. Dexter out ahead. Scrappy has fallen behind, but not by a massive amount, it doesn't look like so far. Could still bring it back on this one. Complex stays right behind Dexter as they move forward. Dexter gets it cleanly. Everybody gets it cleanly. They stay in their positions. Dexter still out ahead. Can he get it cleaner than he did last round? It looks like that is the case, and it looks like it's going to be a draw. Once again, Sprout keep their 4-point lead.
It's a great time from Dexter, 107.6. Complex only 2/10 behind then as well. I think that's the fastest round that we have seen so far from these teams. And it's Dexter stepping up for the side of Sprout, much like we saw in week 2. He's on one at the moment.
He is on one, yes, absolutely. Well, Sprout now, all they need to do, 1 more point, and then they can get an ace territory to win out this map. It's looking pretty secure for them so far. Can Numelops bring out anything to force them to make a mistake, or just drive faster forehead?
Just drive faster forehead. Right now, Panda is just driving faster forehead. This ring has not posed an issue so far, really, in any of these rounds for any of our drivers. Dexter manages to catch right back up with both drivers from Numelops on that pass through, and it's very deep inside. Look at the line going up the hill. Scrappy also has it. That hill has worked out an awful lot better for the cars in black and green as they head into the identity. If they can hold on, if they can hold on to an ace this time around, they will move to a near unlosable position. It's It's holding on that is the issue, though. Scrappy, with a little bit of an incident with the wall, is still in third place. Not enough to drop all the way down to fourth.
Oh, Dexter.
One last hill.
Complex.
Dexter has fallen off. Complex will fall off as well. Panda first, Scrappy second. Dexter to take a third place, 3 seconds behind. And Complex will cross just behind that with a draw. Sprout moved to a map point.
So many people falling off plus L plus ratio in that round. My lord, but Sprout have done what they intended to do. They can now win it out in this next round. All they need is an ace. They've got one already this map. All they need to do, get one more to finish things off. Complex loses a little bit of time. He gets a little bit of a slide there on the dirt. Falls back by 2/10. And now Scrappy and Dexter's job get a little bit easier.
That was quite a few mistakes in that last identity. We really haven't seen that all that much on freestyle. We tend to see smaller mistakes that allow players to catch back up with you. And the pressure maybe getting to those players in that last round. But Sprout, they would love an ace right now. They'd love to just tie this map back up, move on, move away from freestyle, and get into map 5 of this match. And it is a very back and forth match so far.
There we go. Dexter gets out ahead of Panda. Scrappy trying to catch up at this point and does so with ease at that point. Now, it looks like it may just be closing things out for Dexter and Scrappy. For Scrapper, oh no, Panda respawns. Oh no, it's looking a little bit easier. It's clean now for Dexter. For Scrappy, they move forward. The last jump, it's looking like it's all but over. It's a little bit of a 360 for Scrappy to end things off, and it's an ace for Sprout to close out the map.
It does really help that the safest way to go through freestyle is also the most stylish way, right? When you're feeling safe up in front, you just get to throw in a 360 for style points at the same time. Scrappy does exactly that. Dexter put up 107.4. That's pretty tasty there from Dexter, honestly. I think that was good enough for a top 3 current online records. It's quick. Dexter, it's quick. I said it. He's been driving very quickly after week 1, where he didn't pull his weight as much as Scrappy did. Week 2 was the week of Dexter, and this is currently starting to look a little bit like the season of Dexter with the performance he's been putting in.
Does look that way. You never know. You know, week 1, things always happen. You know, whether you haven't practiced enough going into it, or maybe you just were not aware, El No Sabe, that your opponents were going to be as competitive against you as you thought. You know, you never really know how you're going to go first week. It's all about how you improve into the next week, and so far it looks like they are putting on the pressure all the way through. Numelops have done better than we thought so far this series. All they need to do is just keep winning maps to keep Sprout at bay, but it looks like Sprout, that off the back of that map, with the aces that they got, yes, Numelops got a lot of aces on slowdown, but Sprout, again, now with the momentum in their hands just a little bit.
Yep, and hey, I like Numelops' chances on reps, though. This was the map that they looked possibly strongest on last week. They were very, very quick indeed here. And Sprout, they were quick everywhere last week, but while they were good here, I don't think they quite matched Numelops' pace overall. Didn't quite match their consistency either. We'll see if that has changed week on week. Week 3 is a new week. Numelops, they'd love to win on their own map selection here. They'd love to go into maps 6 and 7 with a little bit of an edge. Right now, heading towards the identity, they have that edge. Dexter finding a wall will make that edge just a little bit sharper for Numelops.
Scrappy now the weight of the world on his shoulders as he moves forward towards the identity, but Complex has more speed, pulls out ahead now. Panda trying to get insanely quick as well. Complex, he bumps something, he falls back. Scrappy takes first place back. Can he get through the checkpoint? Yes, he can. And Dexter pulls up the rear, but Scrappy has done the hard work. It's a draw between the two teams.
Close round between the players here. Panda just held off by a very quick Scrappy that time around. 106.8 for Scrappy in the round. And they're not quite able to get there. Would have been up. I mean, Complex on for potentially a 106. I want to say almost even a 106.7 as well. Make sure you scan that barcode. Make sure you get your Disco Duck in chat as well to celebrate the appearance of the rare barcode. It was a draw in the first round there, Twiggy, and all of our players are looking quick.
It does look that way so far, and once again, when it comes down to reps, you never know what's going to happen until the last few milliseconds of the round. So important that you just stay with everybody up until then so you can make the most of any mistakes that might happen, and that is exactly what everybody intends to do, because we can see how close everybody stays right up till the end of the map. Did Dexter touch the wall? No, he didn't. He's still with the pack. He still stays up in top 3. Scrappy in first so far. Panda keeping up.
Panda keeping up. This is kind of the most hand-in-hand that we have seen these players in a little while. Most of the pack is very much together, heading towards the back half of the map. No mistakes through the loop. Dexter gets very close to that wall again. His line might need some looking at there, but if he stays alive, I guess it is A-okay. And alive, Dexter is heading towards this one. This race is live all the way through. Scrappy gets a slight slowdown heading onto these final jumps, but just staying safe might be all you need on reps. Panda and Complex looking for the ace. Panda and Complex will not find the ace. Complex slipped off to the right of the platform, finishes behind his opponents, and it is a second draw in a row.
That's heartbreaking. That is, they drove so well right up until the end, and it's millimeters that Complex misses that final checkpoint by. It just falls off of the ledge right before it. And that's the difference that reps can make. It really is an equalizer at the end. And equalize the scores have stayed level throughout this one so far. 2 rounds down, possibly 8 more to go until we even get to overtime.
Yeah, Scrappy going a lot more outside on that dirt and has held on in front of the 2 players from Numelops. Panda and Complex, though, they will want that ace, and you love to see a team stay hungry after just missing out on it as well. You know, it can be disheartening when the ace slips to a draw that quickly, but head in the zone, focus on. Complex and Panda are chasing down Scrappy, and it is very much pressure on Scrappy right now, but Dexter is not out of this fight. Could capitalize, could catch any mistakes, could even cover for Scrappy if there is a mistake, is gaining on Panda, has the speed. Everyone over the first jump. Complex nearly slipped off the edge there. Dexter overtakes Panda. Complex is a little bit slow, will have the speed. Everyone makes it to the finish line, and Dexter's speed carrying him past Panda will count.
These are some of the most consistent reps finishes we've seen. 3 rounds in a row, everyone has been neck and neck right up to that final checkpoint.
Twiggy, and, would you say they've put in their reps?
Sure, let's do that.
Thank you.
I'm not going to give you any more than that, but yeah, it doesn't look that way. I mean, it doesn't look like any. I don't know what to say at this point. It's really,
that's right. You get stun locked into speechlessness, Twiggy, and that means I can take over the round again. Complex is leading. This is the map as we saw it last time around with. This time it is Complex leading instead of Scrappy. Dexter with a big slowdown on that turn will get overtaken by Panda. The reverse of what happened at the end of the map last time around. Scrappy v Complex. A scrap that has gone out in many rounds before. Panda will find a pole in the middle of the map and he will bash his head straight into it. Complex needs to try and fend off 2 players from Sprout.
Oh no, Scrappy stays out ahead. Complex trying to catch back up. He's been consistent through the final turns here. So far, can he do enough? No, he cannot. I'm so sorry, Complex. That was fully my fault and I take full responsibility. Scrappy gets through to the end unscathed, finishes off that map. Dexter comes second, no problem whatsoever. It's an ace from Sprout and Complex can't even finish.
Ace on 4, moves to 7, that classic magic number. Sprout are now potentially poised to take Numelops' map away from them one more time in this match to move to a map 6 that you selected. I believe they chose Agility Dash for map 6.
Yeah.
Someone will know.
We're not playing Gyroscope and we're not playing Aeropipes. Yeah,
they did, yeah. Yep, they picked Agility Dash
That's what I remember.
as their 6th map, and that would be Sprout heading into Agility Dash with a map lead onto their pick one more time. Numelops, they're going to need a couple of round wins here. They'd love an ace at the best to turn this one around. It's going to be tough though. Scrappy and Dexter looking consistent so far on reps. They have been making it to this finish cleanly. At least one of them has, more often than not.
It does look that way so far. No steer that time for Dexter, and he stays with the rest of the drivers here. Complex out in front, looking to deny Sprout any kind of victory in this round. At the very least, Scrappy and Dexter right up close though, and Panda is right behind all of them. It's so tight up until the end. Complex stays ahead of Scrappy just about. Scrappy with a wider line falls back to the rest of the drivers. Complex now out ahead by just about a 10th, and I'm saying that as if it's a massive amount. It is not whatsoever, but these players have been so close to each other. Complex falls back. Panda trying to gain back some position for the team, doesn't manage to get into the checkpoint. Panda slams into the line, and it's another ace for Sprout, and they close it out in 1.
Yeah, they're closing it out in 1. I was speechless at the end of that round, honestly. What a finish from Sprout. And Complex, he failed the identity a couple of times at the end there, but the credit there goes to Sprout and the pressure that they were putting on. Their times were consistent. Scrappy was putting up 106, 0.7s, 0.8s, pretty much round on round on round like clockwork, and Complex was forced to risk over and over, pushing as hard as he could just to try and grab a round win, even a second place away time on time. And it's a difficult situation to be in. Complex not quite able to hold up under the pressure. With Scrappy and Dexter taking that win on reps, they move to Agility Dash with the ability to close this match out on their selection with a 4-2 scoreline.
It's looking pretty good for them now. It's not... I mean, well, okay, we expected the series to be relatively close, at least closer than Sprout's last series, but at the same time, I don't think we expected Numelops to get 2 out of the first 3 maps as we moved forward. So things have been, you know, a little more difficult here for Sprout than we expected, but it looks now like that momentum is in their favor. It's just about whether now they can finish this off here or whether they get sent to the tiebreaker.
Be exciting. Haven't seen a tiebreaker yet today. I'd be okay with a map 7, but I'm going to back Sprout for this one. I'm going to see Sprout take it here. That's my prediction on this one. Numelops, it'll be a mammoth task in order for them to hold them off.
It will indeed, but as per usual, it looks like Complex staying out ahead. It's a good jump. He stays well ahead of Dexter. Scrappy bringing up the rear right now, but not by much whatsoever. 4/10 between first and fourth as we move forward over the jump. Complex gets slowed down on the plastic there. He falls back down.
Numelops, they did play this map all the way back in week 1, but it was not a happy time for them, and they did not play it at all in week 2. Scrappy and Dexter, they currently have a lead. Complex is a long way back from the 3 players in front. And Panda, there's a little bit of daylight between him and the cars in blue as well. Dexter and Scrappy, let's see how practiced they are looking on this identity as we get towards it.
Well, it looked like when they played against Easy Dream last week, they were pretty happy with the identity. Have they stayed happy with it so far? Have they kept up that practice? Kept up that muscle memory moving forward into those plastic jumps? We'll see in just a moment. They jump forward. They're in first and second by quite a long way. 6/10 between them and third. And they're good throughout the first couple of checkpoints of these jumps. They stay out ahead. Panda trying to catch up with all his might, but Scrappy and Dexter hold hands through to the very end. 76 thousandths between the two, and Panda had no chance.
Honestly, a very satisfying end to Agility Dash there. Both cars completely in sync over those jumps. Sprout will kick things off with an ace. They are looking good on Agility Dash, and this could be the map for them. This could be the match for them. This could be Sprout joining several other teams on 2-1 in this competition and dragging orKs Numelops back down into the pack as well. That's not going to help.
Yeah, a little early on the jump, a little too eager, but at least Scrappy can try and keep alive the dreams of Sprout here. Just hold off Numelops for a little while longer. If he stays in that position, oh dear, Panda, oh, okay, it's not a terrible mistake. Stays ahead of Dexter at the very least, but is going to have much less speed moving forward. Dexter will slowly creep up behind Complex. Stays out ahead of Scrappy. Can Scrappy catch up, or has to release for a second there? Loses a little more speed, but moving forward into the full speed section, that's all going to equalize.
Complex versus Scrappy, with Complex trying to run away from Scrappy behind. We saw this battle an awful lot on reps, and Complex definitely felt the pressure at times there. Here on Agility Dash, with these precision jumps to make, with any one of those jumps going to cost the round for Complex potentially. Can he do it? Can he hold on? You can see it. The distance closed. Scrappy is inching closer. Turn after turn. Transition after transition. Getting ever closer to Complex. In fact, we'll be in front of Complex even before we reach the identity. Can Scrappy now hold on? The first 2 jumps clean. This next jump holding on. Complex gets a wheel over the edge but will not find the edge. This time finds the edge. Holds on. It's Scrappy's mistake. It's Complex's round. It's an ace for Numelops.
Scrappy just said, down, straight down. No, there was no coming back from that one. Numelops get an ace back in return, and as per usual, the Agility Dash identity is a heartbreaker.
As it so often is. It's the momentum stop as well. It is just full sending cars to the Shadow Realm when you get slightly over that edge. And it is going to be an ace back-to-back this match. It's been a match for aces. Those stats that we had in week 2, where in pretty much every level of competition 1-3s were looking more prevalent. this match alone, I think, is going to skew those results as Complex lands a little bit more sideways than he wanted.
Looks that way so far, and Complex, so far, he's been the one putting pressure on the Sprout players. Now he needs, well, now it needs to be Panda that is putting pressure on them, forcing them to make mistakes. That's what happened last round. Can it happen again? Can Numelops get Sprout to just make a mistake right at the end of the map and just pull out ahead? It doesn't look like so far they're giving anything away. Scrappy and Dexter will have been very unhappy with the result of that last round. They're probably not going to let it happen again, but you never know what is going to happen in Agility Dash.
Panda nearly letting that last turn get away from him, went very deep inside, comes out of it okay, but is still chasing the taillights of Scrappy and Dexter. They are Peepo Friendship hand in hand at the moment, heading towards this identity. Will either of them be stopped in their tracks? Will they both make it cleanly through one more time? We know they can do it. We know the practice is there for these cards. It's looking slightly messy for Scrappy at the moment. Recovery line for him, should still have the space behind to make it cleanly through to the end.
My God.
He's okay. He's okay. Heart in mouth moment there, I'm sure, for Scrappy even more than for us.
Oh man, okay, well, it looked like they were going a lot slower through it than they were last round. Obviously, Complex was right on them last round. They had to be risky. I don't know how safe you can be on the Agility Dash identity, but at the very least it looked like they were slowing down and not taking as straight of a line, which does, at the very least, seem a little more consistent, but obviously loses you time. You can just almost straight line your way through that identity and overtake, but obviously that is incredibly risky. Sprout get their second ace. I'm hoping we get a little bit of a closer round going through, because ace is all over and going over and over and over. That is not good for my heart.
It's true, but also I think speaks to the quality of the players in the match, and speaks to the fact that we do kind of expect this to be at top of the table match. Duck Disco for a brief second there. And speaks to the quality of this match, as I think every player is being forced to push, is being forced to go for the best time they possibly can, right? Just safing a little bit, not really seeming to be on the table round on round. And it leads to this many aces, you know? Teams are really being forced to push to the point that they are making mistakes. And we've seen a lot of aces as a result.
Yeah, Panda and Complex out ahead this time around, but again, pressure being put on them by Scrappy and Dexter right on their tails. 3/10 now behind the leaders. I'm not sure. Scrappy may have fallen back further. I could not tell where he went on my screen. I hope he is still with the pack, trying to make things competitive here. Dexter manages to get through. That's a really risky line. Oh my lord. He has less speed though. Complex pulls back ahead. Dexter stays there, but Scrappy, he did make a mistake. He's back. It's another ace, and it's Numelops this time.
4 aces in a row, back to back to back to back. And hey, one more ace for either of these teams would immediately move them to 9 points, would make this map feel like they couldn't lose it. I say that now. We'll see. We'll see. I'm almost expecting a draw here, Twiggy. I'm expecting to see these teams at 7-7 and then one more ace to decide it.
You know what? Let's do it. I'm down for it at this point. We've got a little break before the next game, so it's fine. We can have that happen. That's okay. So Panda stays out ahead. And it looks like now Dexter and Scrappy once again trying to put on the pressure. But this time, nobody pulling, oh, well, no team pulling ahead, as Complex has fallen 2 seconds behind.
Complex is behind. This is looking like a drawable position, touch wood, at the moment. Panda, though, has not been the player that we've seen in this position for the team in red all that often. So much more often, Complex leading from the 2 Sprout players. How does Panda handle the pressure in this round? Can he even hold off Dexter in the middle of the track? Dexter's immediately gained back up. Panda slipping back a little bit towards him, but it is going to be faster for Panda through the middle. The speed slide not there for Dexter, and it's up to Scrappy now to make the chase happen.
He's not too far behind Dexter, but it is enough to make a difference. It is enough to take a little bit of pressure off Panda as he moves forward, and he can still force a draw here on this one. And, well, you never know. 2 seconds isn't a massive amount. If somebody makes a mistake, you can still bring this one back. Scrappy and Dexter contesting for first place here, both within 2/10. They move forward now to the identity. They have more speed. Dexter catches up to Panda immediately. Now it's first and second for Sprout. Can they bring back an ace in their favor? Panda has to turn even wider, and he falls further back into third. Scrappy and Dexter, they get another ace, and it's 9-6 now. Sprout, it's ace after ace after ace. It never ends.
5 in a row. Numelops, ball is in your court. Nothing less than a 6th ace in a row will do it for you if you want to stay in this match right now. If you want to bring Sprout to a map 7, do Complex and Panda have one more in them?
It's going to take some insane brain power to do this one. Some mental agility on agility dash as Dexter and Scrappy, they're holding hands completely as they move forward. Complex this time trying to split the distance. Panda right behind, but now it's all going to come down to, oh no, them trying to get through, and Complex, he does not make the jump. It is now Panda trailing behind. Scrappy and Dexter out ahead. Scrappy, he touches a wall. Panda moves up into 2nd place, but Complex needs to catch up now.
Complex is 4 seconds adrift. He is lost at sea somewhere away from these cars in front. But it's agility dash. This identity, it has not caused massive problems. These players are practiced. It could cause some problems here in a final round. Dexter just needs to hold on to a top 2. Scrappy is in the back pocket as insurance if Dexter cannot get it done. But I have faith in Dexter. Has been so strong in week 2. Now so strong in week 3. And he is holding Panda off for one more time. The first jump is clean. It's low. Dexter's wheels are off the edge. Panda's in first place. Scrappy is chasing. Hold on, everyone. Panda just carrying it all the way to a line for first place. Scrappy is behind. Will cross the line in 2nd. Complex has fallen even further back into a 4th place. The final round, fittingly, will be a 2nd draw. 2 draws, 5 aces. Sprout win the match.
Unbelievable. That'll do it. I cannot believe how many aces we saw in that map. Sprout managed to take it away. They take away the series. It's amazing from Dexter and Scrappy. Once again, Numelops made it close. They put on all the pressure they could, but Sprout bring it to 2-1 in the league like so many other teams before them.
How do you beat this Sprout team now, Twiggy? That's the question for everyone coming into these next weeks. Part of the problem is both players are very quick, and the problem is we saw it for Complex a few times, for Panda at least once or twice, that when you're trying to hold off both of them at the same time, you have to take that many more risks, because otherwise Sprout will pile up the aces, they'll pile up the 1st and 3rds, and all you're going to be able to force is draws. It's going to take something very special from one of the remaining 4 teams that Sprout have to play to find another win against them, I think, at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe ask Attacks how to beat them, because they seem to have the formula down, but then maybe, again, that was just Sprout not being fully prepared for the first week. Who knows? I think I did hear Scrappy say something about him not being prepared for the first week, but anyway, that was a brilliant series. Once again, I'm glad Numelops made it close and really put the pressure on them, but, I mean, there it is. Sprout, once again, they've kept the form they had last week.
It's true. We have one more match left for you here on Play Day 3 of the Trackmania Challenger League, but I'll tell you what, I am exhausted, wiped out after those first 3 matches, so I am going to go and take a 90-minute nap or so. Twiggy, any plans for our break?
I might eat, honestly. I haven't eaten today. It is currently 8 o'clock where I am,
plan.
So yeah,
Great plan all around. Honestly, that's our recommendation to you as well at home. Go and eat a little bit, maybe even drink some water. Stay hydrated out there. We do have a longer break before our final match of the night, but we will be back in about 90 minutes in order to bring you that last match between Shyname Racing and BS Plus. We will see you back here for it. You better be here.